Alright guys, we got another one. On the night of October 31st at 12 p.m., Michael was murdered off an alley on Elm Street. The killer stabbed him through the heart, killing him instantly. There was a witness on site who described the killer as wearing an orange ski mask, brown leather jacket, and black Bates boots. There are three suspects, Brian, Lewis, and Terry. Brian owns a brown leather jacket and has a small criminal record. Lewis is a known murderer whose kill style is stabbing through the heart. And Terry, who has affiliations with Michael, was also seen near the crime scene that night. Who is the murderer?
Well, our first suspect is Brian. Brian owns a leather coat. The murderer was wearing a brown leather coat. Therefore, Brian is the murderer. This is an example of false inductive reasoning. Just because Brian owns a leather coat doesn't mean he is the murderer. Brian was actually at a friend's house at the time of the murder. He was accounted for.
Our second suspect is Lewis. Lewis is a known murderer whose kill style is to stab through the heart. Lewis was convicted of another crime 2 years ago and is in prison. Therefore, Lewis is not the murderer. This is an example of true deductive reasoning, taking a broad example and using it for the bigger picture. With Lewis being accounted for in prison on the night of the murder, it is not possible for him to be the murderer.
The last suspect is Terry. Terry was seen a half mile away from the crime scene wearing a brown leather jacket and black Bates boots. The witness described an orange pizza cloth hanging from one of his jacket pockets. Using inductive reasoning and syllogisms, we can conclude Terry was wearing a brown leather jacket, black Bates boots, and an orange ski mask on him the night of the crime near the scene of the crime, and has affiliations with Michael. The killer was described wearing all of these items, therefore Terry is the murderer.
In conclusion, inductive reasoning is specific to broad. Deductive reasoning is broad to specific. Syllogism is a basic format for these two. If A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C.